Hi, my name is Lokesh, and this video is basically introduction to the Selenium Webdriver. We are finally reached our Webdriver concept and what is the comparison with the Selenium RC. Okay, first I am going to explain the Selenium Webdriver. It's an automation framework that allows you to execute your test script against a different browser, not only just a Firefox. Okay, when we are going to an IDE, it supports only Firefox. Selenium Webdriver supports different browsers, and when we are going to the Selenium IDE, it supports only one programming language and HTML. But Selenium Webdriver supports the different programmings, and also it supports the conditional operations, for loop, if else loop, all the statements, loop conditions it will support. So the program supports in Java, .NET, Python, PHP, Perl, Ruby. The Selenium Webdriver versus RC. So now before 2006, we have only a Selenium RC. Why it is overcome to the Selenium Webdriver is coming to the picture into nowadays. Selenium, when we are going to see the architecture of that, both Webdriver and RC both support the different programmings and different browsers also supported. But the very default problem is when we are going to see the architecture of the RC, first it launches the separate application called as a Selenium Remote Controller, and it starts the testing. If you are not launched the Selenium RC, it won't be work, because Selenium RC is a middleman between the Selenium commands and browser. Okay, when we are going to beginning the test, the Selenium RC injects the JavaScript program called as Selenium code into the browser. It injects the JavaScript into the browser. Okay, once injected, Selenium code will start the receiving the instructions. When the Selenium RC inject the JavaScript into the Selenium it's in a browser. Once when we are running the commands, that entire commands it receives, the instructions are received RC server from your test programming. What are the program we wrote? Means if you are going to launching some login file, the test script, before that instructions, the Selenium server inject this one JavaScript and it take the instructions to the Selenium server, which are the server you launch. That server takes the instructions and to your program, which are the program you wrote. That entire instruction it will be taken. That instructions received, Selenium code will execute them to the JavaScript commands. But it is not execute your program, which are the language if you are using Java or is .NET commands. But that commands not execute Selenium RC. That commands converted to the JavaScript and it executes that. That instruction will be really response to the RC. The server will receive the response of the browser and then display the result to you. Means again, what are the instructions are completed JavaScript or Selenium RC. That all response it will receive the browser and displays the result to you in the front of you. That browser displays the output. The next instruction of your test script to repeat the whole life cycle. Again, if you want to run one more test case or one more programming, that all the again you want to start the first to last. That is a time taking. That is the reason Selenium Webdriver is coming to the picture, because Selenium Webdriver architecture directly communicate to the OS level. It's not communicate with the server level. How the Selenium RC is supported? We are not going to launch the Selenium server. We are directly communicate with the web browser. Okay, but Selenium RC is not support directly communicate with the. It's not directly communicate with the browser. It's middle of the server. We want to launch the server. We want to communicate with the browser, because Selenium RC inject the JavaScript, and after that it receive the instructions, and after that it will go to the commands, running to the JavaScript commands. That is a very lengthy process, and also it will decrease the speed. See the speed. What is the speed of the Selenium Webdriver? Faster than the Selenium RC, because it's not going to run the Selenium server now. But RC launch the first it is coming slow, because the JavaScript program called the Selenium core, and also we need to launch the server, and that server want to receive the instruction. After receiving the instruction, it want to follow the steps, and it again want to give into the response to you, because it is not going to directly communicate with the browser. That is the reason Selenium RC is very slow comparing to the WebDriver. WebDriver is the faster. We see that real-time instruction API on browsers. When we are going to the browser, Selenium Webdriver is a very good feature into supporting is a handless HTML unit browser. But Selenium RC won't support this feature, because this one is handless browser. We are launching the Chrome or IE, any browser we are launching, we are checking the login, the fields we are going to give, and we are see the print of that. But in a HTML unit browser, we don't have a UI, we don't have a GUI. Okay, it's a GUI less. There is no browser invisible. Okay, it is a hiding. Is a browser is a hide. We can see that directly output into the Eclipse. You won't be see on that. This is a great feature into the Selenium Webdriver, which who are working in new Selenium version, Webdriver version, that kind at the time it will work on that. It's an older version it won't support. As limitations, really limitation is present here. So now limitations of WebDriver cannot readily support the new browser. New browsers means in the market, if someone is launching a new browser, it won't be supported, because it's an OS level is different. Remember, WebDriver operators on the OS level. Also remember that different browsers communicate with the OS in the different ways. If a new browser come out, it may have different process of communicating with the OS comparing to other browsers. So we have to give the WebDriver team quite some time to figure out that new process out from they can implement into the next WebDriver release. Means we don't know the inside that browser how it is the working. At that time the Selenium Webdriver won't support it. We need to send to the Selenium Webdriver team, and they will update it when we are going to release a new Selenium Webdriver. At that time they will upgrade the methods and everything they release it. Selenium RC has a built-in result generation, but Selenium Webdriver won't have a Selenium result is reporting, because RC is generate the HTML file test result, but Selenium Webdriver won't have a generation report. Okay. This is all about the introduction and differentiation between the Selenium RC and Webdriver. What are the limitations, everything on that. And if you like this video, please like my video. If you want to comment on that, you can comment and I will reply on that. Thank you for watching.